Hello guys, this is Zibby from Max Motors. Today we are fixing some seat and a w124. This is a wagon I'm restoring. There's a few videos on the car. So I've done so many of these seats in the past. Some of you guys might know I've owned plenty 124s in my past. Whenever I get to it, they're kind of easy, but they do get confusing. And if it's the first time you would be tackling a seat job on older Benz, I feel like there's really not enough videos out there for anybody to watch and just be comfortable to digging into it. So I've separated the bottom frame with the motors from the rest of the seat. This is held on only by this screw here and two on the side. There's two wires that you'll have to unplug. The wires for this particular seat are very simple. Every motor's got its own separate wire running to the module. Every motor has two thick pins. This is plus, minus, minus, plus, whichever way you want it to go. So it's very easy for testing. They sit up right in here. You can pop them up with a screwdriver. Even when this is all complete attached to the seat, you can move your seat and manage to unplug these for testing. Most of the time you will hear your motors running, but either the gearboxes go bad, but what happens is these steel cables that run from side to side. So this motor powers this gearbox through a steel cable and through another steel cable on this side. This is a third time that I've actually come across this issue where the cable is too short. See, it was only inserted maybe 2 millimeters, maybe a millimeter. It worked when it was new, but it quickly wore out. It wore out this piece here, the screw. That's where the cable goes in, that hole. See, it's a little bit worn out inside. There's like residue of, I think this is aluminum. So what I've done to remedy this is I took it apart on this side. I inserted a piece of straw where the cable goes so that it does not go as deep. There's my piece of straw. So I took, like a 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter piece, put it in, and then I put the line in so that it's longer on this end. And this will cure the problem forever. I still have to do another motor. This one I actually moved and it started working. So this transmission is this cable is also too short. It just buzzes. I have to remove this one from here, I guess, and just push it so it reaches, and then make sure that there is something to make it longer. So I'll put a piece of straw here and then put the cable in. So I've had it where I moved them to the original positions because they were not even worn out this bad, and after 2 years they slowly made their way out again. So as far as this job, we're working on the bottom of the seat, right? So you have 3 motors here responsible for all the movement, up, down on this side, and then you have moving back and forth. The back and forth action is also controlled by electric motor, of course, and I believe it's this one. So here it's actually directly connected to the gearing, but on this side it's running through with a cable. So if your seat goes, crooked, it doesn't really want to go forward evenly, chances are that that cable has failed, because here there's really not much to fail. If nothing is working, or if one of the seats is, motors is not working, one function, it could be that this relay box here is bad. You cannot replace relays separately. It's all just a motherboard. I've had it where this whole thing just died. I had it where one of the leads on the motherboard actually burnt when I reversed jumped my car. I fixed that though, and the module's still fine. So all the cables just plug in right here. Everything goes through a computer, a relays. There's memory here, and then it goes out to individual motors. It's a very, very simple setup that's fairly easy to fix. That's why I love working on the older E-classes. It's very good to work on. So here's the bottom of the seat. Here are the wires that I had to unplug before I was able to separate. Here's the point at which one of the screws goes through, and then you have the two side ones as I showed you. Make sure your seat is slid forward, so you can access these screws. Before you unplug anything, make sure that your screws are visible, otherwise you'll have to unplug the correct wire and give it a plus and a negative, right? So let's say I want to move the backrest right now. I would just give it power to these two big ones. The small ones are sensors, so you're not using that. Do not put power through them because you could burn them. You're only using the big ones. Everything else seems to be working correctly on here. So when you are removing the seat, you'll be undoing that bolt also. Remember that. A lot of people forget that one. And then you just have your 4 bolts. Make sure you can raise your seat as much as you can. 4 bolts plus the 5th one. Seat comes up right here. Unplug all your wiring and pull her out. I mean, for me it takes about a minute to get the seat out. Alright guys, what else is on this seat? I mean, there's a headrest, which I never bothered fixing because that's just something that you really don't use much, so I can't help you with that, honestly. Never bother. I know that they break when you're trying to remove them, the headrests. Then you try to click it back in, and sometimes it clicks in, sometimes it just never works again. So alright, well, thanks for stopping in. I hope this video helps some people. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing it so there's more people wanting these older Benzes. I truly believe the 124 was the best of the best. So thank you for stopping in, and like and subscribe. Thank you so much.